Sunbeds promise the golden glow of summer in the dead of winter, all from the comfort of a padded recliner. For some, they're a shortcut to a tan without the beach. For others, a perceived remedy for low mood or vitamin D deficiency. But beneath the bronze surface lies a different story, one where the quality of UV radiation matters more than the quantity, and where the artificial glow of a sunbed may be far more sinister than a stroll in natural sunlight. The key difference between tanning beds and natural sunlight lies in the type of ultraviolet radiation they emit. Natural sunlight delivers a mix of ultraviolet A, UVA, and ultraviolet B, UVB rays, roughly 95% UVA and 5% UVB, though this varies with time of day, location, and atmospheric conditions. UVB rays are the primary drivers of vitamin D synthesis in the skin, while also being the main culprits behind sunburn. UVA rays, on the other hand, penetrate deeper into the skin and are major contributors to skin aging, wrinkling, and long-term cellular damage. Tanning beds, however, flip the balance, delivering an overwhelmingly UVA-dominant radiation profile, often with UVA levels 2 to 3 times higher than what's found in natural midday sun. This design is intentional, as UVA rays tan the skin quickly without causing immediate burns. But here's the catch. While UVA may not burn, it stealthily breaks down collagen, generates reactive oxygen species, and causes oxidative stress that leads to premature skin aging and DNA mutations. These mutations don't stay quiet. They accumulate over time, increasing the risk of basal cell carcinoma, squamous cell carcinoma, and even melanoma, the deadliest form of skin cancer. Contrary to popular belief, tanning beds are not a reliable source of vitamin D. Because UVB rays are needed to trigger its production and most tanning beds emit very little UVB, sometimes less than 1% of their total UV output, they offer minimal benefit in this regard. In other words, you may be getting the wrinkles and the cancer risk, but not the vitamin D. That's a bad deal. Natural sunlight, while still a risk factor for skin cancer with excessive exposure, offers a more balanced UV spectrum and the added benefit of vitamin D synthesis, particularly during midday, when UVB intensity is highest. Short, controlled doses of natural sun can be enough to trigger vitamin D production without significant skin damage, especially if timed wisely and practiced with moderation. The risk exists, but it's easier to manage. Plus, natural sunlight has a positive influence on circadian rhythms and mood-regulating neurotransmitters, effects that tanning beds do not reliably provide. From a cancer risk perspective, the numbers speak loudly. Multiple studies have linked indoor tanning to a dramatic increase in melanoma risk, especially when use begins at a young age. According to the World Health Organization, the use of tanning beds before age 35 increases melanoma risk by 59%, and every additional session compounds that risk further. Because UVA damage is often less visible and slower to show than UVB-induced sunburn, many users underestimate the harm until much later. The marketing of tanning beds as safer than the sun, or beneficial for vitamin D, is misleading at best, dangerous at worst. While occasional, unprotected sun exposure has a biological role in human health, tanning beds are essentially concentrated UVA chambers, a fast track to photoaging and potential cancer with very few health upsides. Ultimately, the sun is a complex ally that requires respect, but tanning beds are a manufactured shortcut with real long-term consequences. If the goal is vitamin D, supplements or careful outdoor exposure are safer and more effective. If the goal is aesthetic, it's worth asking whether the temporary glow is worth the price of deep skin damage later. Because in the sunbed versus sunlight debate, the answer isn't that one is good and one is bad. It's that one is a natural force we must negotiate with, and the other is a risky imitation that rarely delivers what it promises.